Welcome back to the Remote No Pressure podcast, Bill.
Hey, it's great to be back.
Podcast and YouTube channel.
Both. Boom.
Boom.
Double duty.
Double duty.
Speaking of duty.
Hey, by the way, this episode of the Remote No Pressure podcast is brought to you by Deli Fresh Design.
Yeah.
That was funny. We did that. It was like perfect. But this episode is brought to you by Deli Fresh Design. Ross White out in Denver has an amazing product. And I know it's that time of year when we're all looking for something unique.
The perfect Christmas present.
Or
holiday present, depending on your beliefs.
Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. We're no judge.
What was it? Festivus?
Festivus.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Festivus. Let's air our grievances right now. No, but Ross White's offering 20% off to all of our listeners using RNP20 at checkout. Sling packs, fly wallets, koozies. He's got a sweet backpack on there. I'm hoping my wife listens to this episode because that backpack is sweet. Plus, he keeps things out of the landfill and recycles them to make awesome fly gear.
That is awesome. That's perfect.
DeliFreshDesign.com. Ross, thank you so much. And see, and like I said this last week, people, when you're buying from Ross, you're not just buying from Ross, but you're also helping support the podcast.
That's right.
So we also appreciate you using that discount code. We want you to use the discount code.
That's right. It saves you money. Come on, people.
It saves you 20%. Buy 4, get 1 free.
You can't afford not to.
Now, speaking of Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
Bill, you're newlywed.
I am. I still don't know what I'm going to do.
What are you going to do? You're going to go to your in-laws' house for Christmas? You're going to go to your mom's house for Christmas?
Got to talk about all this. We're less than a month in.
Are you less than a month in?
As of recording right now, I mean, tomorrow will be 4 weeks.
4 weeks. That's what I thought.
Days.
I knew it was coming up. And that's always an odd thing. You know, when you have, multiple parents and trying to, I remember when we first got married, it's like, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? Who are we going to offend? Who are we not going to offend?
Yeah.
And that's always an interesting conversation.
Yeah. But
is your wife a shopper? Is she out there shopping, doing her thing?
She doesn't like shopping as much. Like, we like shopping for groceries. That's,
You shop for groceries together.
Yeah.
It's really cute. That's cute.
Is. Arm in arm. Up and down the aisles.
Well, the thing is, you're both a little older, so you've both been shopping for groceries on your own for so long.
But we're into the same stuff, too. So it's like we're into like healthier foods, healthier choices. So we'll go and compare notes when we're looking at things.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like a match made in heaven,
It
Bill.
really is. Really is.
That's really great, man. I'm very happy for you. I'm interested to see you guys grow as a couple. That's just always fun, Last week we actually talked to a couple for Whiskey Leather Works.
That's right.
And they were an amazing couple, and that was a lot of fun. And it's just, I think, and I mentioned this on the podcast, I listened to like Jordan Peterson, who is a speaker, and then a couple of other guys that are like spiritual, but not necessarily like faith healers or like Christian focused.
Okay.
And so we've seen this huge decline in church attendance.
Yeah.
Why I keep up on this weird stuff, I don't know. And I also follow weird cult stuff too. Why? It's my conspiracy theories, okay? But I think there is a hunger for people to have good relationships.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And it seems like, excuse me, Producer Koff is here.
Producer Koff, we'll keep it in line, sorry.
But I think it was John Aaron's last year. I don't know if you remember him. He did an episode called Trout Camp Relationships.
Yep.
That was a very popular episode. I think people want that. People will desire for true relationships. So it's really cool that you found someone, Bill, that you can have a relationship with.
Speaking of Trout Camp, didn't you just have one a couple of weeks back?
No, we didn't do Trout Camp this year. We actually just went fishing. Accountant Phil and I. We didn't do the whole. We camped like one night, but it wasn't very formal at all. It was just like. But I did go out west.
Yeah. First
time I've fly fished in a western stream, the North Fork of the Coeur d'Alene in Idaho. It was pretty spectacular.
Go on.
But the
Go on.
But the winter fishing is on, so I had to try to pull them out of holes, and I was only in there. I was only fishing for a couple hours because I took a red eye. You ever take a red eye flight?
Yes, they're not fun, but it's worth the price.
It's worth the price, Yeah. But anyway, so it was a good time. I don't know. Thanks to Heather Hodson, who gave me a couple of drop pins on where to fish around there. But there's also some areas closer to the airport in Spokane where I could have gotten more time in too. So stop by a local fly shop. Man, I wish I could remember the name of the fly shop because I'd give them a
shout out.
Give them a shout out. I'll know next episode. I'll give them a shout out.
Sweet. Yeah. You sent some pictures and they were spectacular pictures. They were gorgeous terrain. It looked like you had nice weather compared to what we were having out here.
Yeah, it was cold, but it was nice. Up on the mountains, it was cold. But down in Spokane, it probably got up to like 45, 50 degrees.
How do we have snow already here in Michigan?
I don't know. I remember one of my first Thanksgiving with Jamie, my wife, and her family.
Yeah.
And it was Thanksgiving, and me being from Texas, I'd only been up here for a couple of years, maybe 2 years. And they had all of their Cokes and Dr. Peppers and all that stuff.
Outside.
Notice I didn't say pop because I was a Texan at the time.
Yeah.
So we didn't call it pop.
All their Cokes and Dr. Pepper.
All their
Dr.
Cokes.
Pepper being a Texas drink, right?
Yeah. And Cokes. Everything's a Coke down in Texas.
Yep.
We kept them out on the porch.
Yep.
Because it was cold.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was such a novelty and such a weird thing to me because I'm like, why would you keep that out? What's going on? But that was like my first Thanksgiving here, and there was a lot of snow on the deck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not uncommon, but it is for the last few years. We didn't even have a white Christmas last year.
No, it's been weird in Michigan the last few years.
It really has. Yeah.
They made the polar vortex.
We need to get Big Ty Shesky, our local Fox weather guy, on here and let him talk about that.
Yeah. That'd be good.
But there's a lot of hoops to go through because he's under contract with Fox, and there's certain things he can and can't do. It's almost like they think we're.
What if he had an alter ego that would by a different name?
That would be, I don't know, but we'd have to blur his face out on the YouTube channel.
Yep.
It's almost like they think we're legitimate broadcasting. No, I don't know. Maybe we could blur his face out. Maybe change his voice a little bit.
Even if he's Skyped in.
Maybe it's like one of those what are those things called, like when they interview criminals in prison?
Yep.
And they don't want their face shown, or undercover agents,
We can Photoshop a little mustache over them so they don't recognize them.
Oh, my name is Bry Takowski instead of Ty Shesky. Change his name just slightly. But I don't know why. It's been a really cold year. I think down in Texas too, it's been a very, very cold year. Everywhere it's been cold. But in other news, Belmont News Network.
BNN, the old BNN.
Oh yeah, the old BNN. Like you actually know what the BNN is, and I think, as you all know, we are all about reputable fake news, not just any fake news, but reputable fake news.
There is a difference.
There is a difference. Not just any fake news, but reputable fake news, and this is no exception. Belmont News Network, Gaston County Catfish Tournament. You ever catch catfish?
No, I haven't.
You ever eat catfish?
I think I did, and I wasn't a fan.
Yeah?
I might not have had it done right.
Yeah, well, in the South, there's a whole chain of restaurants called Catfish King.
Oh.
And it's good. I love catfish and hush puppies. Yeah. Up here, it's like, gross. But down in Texas, it's like, man, we love some catfish.
I heard we got some big catfish around these parts, too.
I know that's right. Gaston County Catfish Tournament anglers crying foul after 70-year-old woman wins the tournament with a cane pole and a Ziploc bag full of gravy train. Who knew? Who knew they were catfish fishing snobs out there? Who knew? But they were mad at this lady because she won the catfish tournament with a cane pole and a Ziploc bag full of gravy train, being dog food. Participants in the annual Gaston County Catfish Tournament are crying foul tonight after a 70-year-old Cramerton woman bested the next closest competitor by 12 pounds.
Wow.
While using nothing but a cane pole and gravy-trained dog food for bait. One competitor, Dieter Melhorn, with whom BNN spoke,
you mean Belmont News Network?
Yeah, the old Belmont News Network spoke, had this to say: "I have the very best catfishing equipment, and that money can buy the best boat, the best rods, the best electronics. There ain't no way that old lady beat me with a stick and some dog food. No way. Something smells fishy here, and it ain't my stink bait." And see, that seems like legitimate when you read that sentence. Something smells fishy here, and it ain't my stink bait.
That sounds like legit fake news.
That
good writing.
Good writing, great copy.
Yep.
But some guy fishing for catfish is not going to say that. And
yeah.
I mean, that's a very catchy thing to say.
Yep.
Something smells fishy here, and it ain't my stink bait.
That sounds like that could be a good shirt for catfishermen.
That would be good. Others say it's not unusual for Miss Minnie, as she is lovingly called by lake patrons, to weigh in her limit at least 5 days a week. Miss Minnie sure can catch them. Apostrophe EM. Not them, but apostrophe EM. Miss Minnie sure can catch them. She always leaves the lake with enough catfish and shell crackers to feed 5 people. Miss Minnie wouldn't cheat. Those men just ain't as good at fishing as they think they are. And it goes, even if this is fake news, which I'm on the, I don't know. I'm back and forth. What do you think? You think it's fake news?
I think the writing is creative. So if it is fake news, like they did a good job trying to capture the spirit of the South.
The spirit of the South. Notice I had kind of a Southern accent there for a second.
I was pulling out your, was it Georgia you said?
I'm not sure. Where it was.
Where is the old BNN located?
The old Belmont, Georgia, probably.
Georgia.
We actually did an episode of What's Going On in Georgia.
Right.
But it goes to show you that it's not always the most expensive gear. Because I have a lot of people who want to get into fly fishing and they're like, I can't afford it. But there's a lot of ways you can get into fly fishing that's affordable.
$100 on my first combo. Remember that?
Yeah. Where did you get it from?
Amazon
on a combo.
Whitewater. I think that was the name of the brand.
Isn't that like, I think that's Bass Pro Shops.
Oh, is it really?
I'm not sure.
Well, it still works for me. That's my old 5-weight. I put some more money into my 3-weight, but
yeah. And you you kind of like start out small.
That's right.
Build it up. Get yourself a nice cane pole.
Yep. Ziplock baggie full of gravy train.
Well, what's so funny is she's using this pole, this cane pole, and it's made out of probably bamboo.
Yeah. Yeah. Where'd she get the pole from?
Well, you can get poles. You can get bamboo poles at like the bait shop and stuff.
Oh.
Right? And so you can't. So my thing is, how expensive are these bamboo fly rods?
This is true.
That we use. Do you know what I mean? It's like this. Wow. But those are like some.
I think you're paying for the bamboo fly rods though because they're fly rods.
They're fly rods, but they're also. I mean, they're made. I mean, it's not just like a big cane pole.
Yeah.
But it's like from one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
But it's not uncommon for people to catch these fish and with these cheap equipment.
I would give them points for being creative.
Yeah.
Going with what you got and making it work. They're finding things that are working for them.
Yeah, exactly. They're getting on the water. And I think that's part of the problem is like getting on the water and just getting out there and doing the thing, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Do we have another news? Wait, in other news?
We do have another in other news. Clay County, Missouri. You know where that's at? I think that's by St. Louis.
Somewhere in the Missouri area.
Loud fart gives away suspect's hiding spot, leads to arrest. Now this is a legit Fox 2.
Fox 2 out of Detroit. So this is a reputable source, I would say.
This is a reputable source. Because Fox is fair and balanced. When tracking down a suspect in Clay County, Missouri, law enforcement might use a canine to track down a scent. That is not necessarily That is not necessary for a recent arrest in Missouri. According to Clay County Sheriff's Office over the weekend, Liberty police were searching for a person who a felony warrant
for arrest. That was a weird sentence.
Yeah, that's a weird sentence.
Come on, Fox.
And this is the real news. Notice the fake news.
Good grammar.
Is grammatically correct.
Good storytelling.
The person wanted for possession of a controlled substance. The suspect hid to avoid police, but apparently let out a fart so loudly it gave up the hiding. So loudly it gave up their hiding post. Comma. We've got to give props to Liberty PD for using their senses to sniff them out. Read a Facebook comment from Clay County Sheriff's Office. Again, legitimate news. This is the problem.
Short, sweet too.
But this is the problem. Sniffing them out, joking around, ha. This is legit news versus the old Belmont News Network.
Oh, the old BNN
and maybe the old BNN. Maybe they got a new editor or something. I don't know. It's almost as if I work for Fox 2 Detroit.
Grammatically, you mean?
Grammatically.
Grammatically?
Yeah.
Grammatically?
Grammatically.
Grammatical grow?
Yeah, exactly. But it's almost as if I work for grammatically. It's almost like I work for them. But anyways, have you ever did you ever watch that show Cops or anything like that before?
Grew up on Cops.
What was it about that show that was so amazing?
That was like one of the first reality TV shows, wasn't it?
I think so.
I mean, like it wasn't like like Big Brother or like you couldn't win anything.
Right.
But it was just a ride along with the cops.
You win.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. We got a winner.
We got a winner. Free trip to the Clank. Yeah, it's interesting. I used to sit and watch it all the time.
Yeah. It was exciting. Do you ever watch that movie Step Brothers?
Of course.
And
that's my favorite
why
movie.
Why are you sweating? I was watching Cops.
It's just out on Netflix.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Step Brothers is on Netflix right now. My wife and I just watched the whole thing, and it's such a funny movie.
Classic.
It just
Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly, and we've had this conversation before. John C. Reilly is what I would call a comedic genius.
Yes,
totally underrated. What do you think?
Yeah, he does some good serious roles too, but I feel he's a great secondary star in these comedies.
Like a supporting actor.
Yeah. Whenever he's with Will Ferrell, it's usually a pretty good movie.
Why is that though? What is it about that supporting character that makes it?
I couldn't tell you.
Because he was in what's the one?
Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights.
Yep.
God, what a great movie.
And he was just recently in Holmes and Watson.
Was that a good movie?
It wasn't as good as Talladega Nights or Step Brothers, but it was all right.
I haven't seen it because I think Will Ferrell's I'm tired of his humor.
Yeah, I know. He's just like Dumb and Dumber was amazing back in the 90s.
Uh-huh.
The sequel they put out 5 years ago was not on par. It was like 90s humor. They're 20 years too late, in my opinion.
They waited too long.
I could piss people off with that opinion.
They waited too long. They should have did Dumb and Dumber 2 sooner and made a franchise out of it.
Yeah.
But instead they didn't do anything. Came out with that Dumb and Dumber, which wasn't the original cast, which I think was...
It's a prequel.
That was like...
Poor.
Not only poor, but offensive.
Yeah.
Like, you have ruined my favorite movie. So I have I watched 3/4 of it. I turned it off.
Yeah. It wasn't... It was actors trying to pull out what Jim Carrey and Jeff... what's his name?
Yeah. Jeff Daniels.
A
Michigander.
Yes.
Yeah.
A Youper, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What they pulled off in the 90s. Like, they pulled out these awesome roles, well, for what it was.
Right.
And these guys are trying to live up to that, and I don't think they did a good job.
But you think about, Jim Carrey, it wasn't just Dumb and Dumber, but you can also think about, his role on, what was that show that they were on? In Living Color.
Yeah.
And Living Color was amazing. And Living Color, Fire Marshal Bill.
Yep.
I'm sorry, there is only one Fire Marshal Bill.
That's right.
And there's only one. What was his name? Lloyd? Harry?
Yep.
His name
Lloyd
was
Christmas.
Harry. His name was Harry, wasn't he?
No, it was Lloyd.
It was Lloyd?
I want to say Lloyd Christmas.
It was Harry and Lloyd.
Yep.
I forget which one's which, but there's only one Harry and Lloyd. You can't recreate that with other people.
Nope.
Jim Carrey was a genius.
That's right.
But there's a lot of movies, they try to, it just didn't work.
That's right.
And same thing with, The other movie, which I think would have been good for them to do, was what's the one? Gosh, Gina. Everyone's saying it right now. Everyone's saying it in their car right now.
Gina.
No, Tina. The
Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah.
I did not like that movie. It was painful to watch for me.
Oh my gosh. Well, it was me when it first came out. It was me, Michael, Nathan Phillips, Lisa.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if Nate and Shannon were married yet, but it was the four of us. We went and saw that movie. And I was at Studio 28.
Yep.
And I was crying. I almost wet my pants. I was laughing that hard.
That's a Grand Rapids staple for those of you not in the area. That was one of the biggest studios in the nation.
Yeah, it's gone now. It's all gone. But we were laughing so hard, dude. I almost, I thought that was genius. But it seems like you either love or hate that. You didn't like it. What is it? What was hard to watch about it?
I don't know. It was a bunch of no-names, I thought. I didn't know any of the actors except for maybe one dude who was on the Drew Carey show, the karate.
Oh, yeah.
Instructor.
Yeah. Were you a big fan of the Drew Carey show at one time?
I didn't have ABC growing up. So that was, in my location in northern Michigan, there was hills in the way between Traverse City and where I was. Where the Traverse City was where the ABC affiliate was located. So I couldn't get half the shows on ABC.
Because the
distance.
The distance.
Distance and the geographical blocking, like hills blocking. And yeah. Unless I was in the top story of the house with aluminum foil on an antenna hanging out the window. That could actually give it a good reception too. Now that there's cable everywhere and everybody's got live stream everything.
Yeah, we don't even have cable. We don't have cable. We have Netflix.
Yep.
Did you do the Disney Plus thing?
No, I didn't. We're going through Netflix right now watching all the Marvel stuff before they pull it.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you ever got into those Marvel shows on Netflix. They're amazing.
Really? Their shows or TV shows?
Yeah. Yeah, there's Daredevil, Punisher, a couple other ones.
So they're not just movies, they're actual series.
13-episode series, yeah.
And they were made for Netflix then?
Yeah.
Are they owned by Disney?
Yeah, now they are. Disney canceled all their contracts on Netflix. They might bring them back on Disney, I heard. But they are violent and vulgar. I mean, not a ton of swears. It's like watching late night TV on cable.
Yeah. Like late night cable.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. I was wondering if they were going to pull all that from
they are.
From Netflix.
Disney owns the world.
I was really surprised. We did it because we have kids, and plus, I'll be honest with you, I enjoy some old school Disney movies.
Oh, yeah.
And
nothing wrong with it. So you signed up for it?
Yeah, signed up for it. I like it a lot. And we watched some shows with kids, and they got a lot of National Geographic stuff. But I didn't realize how big of an entertainment beast that Disney was.
Yeah.
They own a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of shows and things like that. And
own ABC now also?
Do they own ABC?
Yeah.
I know they own ESPN.
Yeah.
They're a publicly traded company, too. You can buy Disney stock.
Yeah. Yep.
But it seems like some people are it's like a cult.
Yeah. We both know somebody.
Yeah.
Who
does he still have his blog and all that stuff?
I'm not sure.
He was all excited about it, and
he's a good guy, but he went in spurts where he would I'm gonna make a blog. I'm gonna make a vlog. I'm gonna make a blog about this. It was. I don't think he does.
But he loves Disney.
He loves Disney. His dad works for Disney still.
Yeah.
He worked for Disney. This guy we know worked for Disney for a couple years. And he would go back once a year to keep his Disney status up, so he can get discounts on the amusement parks and other stuff. But I don't know if he still does that or not. But yeah, big fan of Disney.
Yeah, I had a guy I used to work with. He was an older guy. Gary Corsby was his name. He was an awesome guy. He loved Disney. He would go there with his wife, just him and his wife, and hang out. And they were an elderly couple, and they just loved it. And he knew all the secret. If this lamp was on, Walt Disney was in the park, and when he died, it was always on because he's always in the park.
I think Disney was dead before Walt Disney World opened.
Was it really?
I think so. He was alive for the planning, but they bought this huge chunk of swamp in Florida. And by the time it was finished, he was dead.
We'll get emails. People will correct us because people who love Disney know the facts.
I am just going off hearsay too, folks. So forgive me for.
It's all hearsay, but he had all kinds of inside track. This dude was one of my good friends, and we used to go big lake fishing together.
Oh, nice.
You don't if you don't have to buy a boat to go big lake fishing. It's better if you know someone who owns a boat.
Yeah.
And he owned a boat, and he was older, and he was always looking for someone to go fishing with. So I would go fishing with him, and he was getting older.
You say big lake fishing, do you mean up here in the Great Lakes?
Yeah, in Lake Michigan.
Oh, man,
for salmon with plugs and everything.
Yes.
And so what happened was I'm like, hey, Gary, he's getting older, and he had plenty of money to retire. And his son and I know his son was about my age.
Yeah.
And we're like, Gary, you need to like retire. You have plenty of money. Enjoy your life. You've been working hard. I'll retire later. Finally, he retires. He retires in July. In September, on the golf course, he had a heart attack and died.
Oh.
2 months after he retired. It's like, and he was the nicest guy you'd ever meet, like a really cool guy. And
that's a shame.
But enjoy 2 months of retirement, and but that's what this podcast is all about. Not dying 2 months after retirement, but enjoying the life.
While you have it, yeah. Quality of life.
The quality of life,
yes.
Going fishing.
Yeah.
Those little things. You may not be able to retire and quit your job right now, but take some time.
But one day.
Enjoy your life. One day.
Yeah, you don't have to be retired to get out and enjoy the outdoors.
Right. You don't have to be rich. You can use a cane pole.
Yeah. And some gravy train.
Some cane pole. Go get yourself a white bleach bucket from McDonald's. Maybe the ghost of Frozen Patty will give it to you.
Oh, we'll have to call there someday.
Yeah, and get you one of those white buckets to sit on, and then an old cane pole, some gravy train.
Boom. Catching fish all day.
Maybe. But don't forget your fishing license.
Yes.
Don't forget your fishing license. But anyways, well, this is an interesting episode, Bill. I mean, we don't have an interview this week. We were just hanging out here in the middle of winter.
Sometimes this is fun too. Most times, this is always fun. I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Just chatting. Just hanging out.
Nothing too serious.
Yeah.
And but Bill, I sure appreciate all you're doing, man. All your help, and congratulations on your marriage. I'm looking forward to meeting your bride.
Yeah.
Or I've met her, but I'd like to get to know her better.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anything else you'd like to share with our audience, Bill?
I don't really have any. I'm not too interesting. No, I'm going to say no.
There's nothing more genius than two people who are not that interesting starting a podcast.
That's right.
That's why we bring guests on.
That's right.
Because we are not that interesting.
Sorry, people. Hope your expectations weren't that high today.
But you know what I've noticed, like the most feedback I get is our banter in the beginning.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I was on a podcast.
Whoa, what one?
I forgot about it. Fish Untamed. So if you go fishuntamed.com, I'll put the links up in the show notes, and you can check out my interview on another podcast. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. I was really it's really interesting. I think this is the second or third podcast that I've been on, and being on the other side of the mic, it's very interesting because it's hard to talk about yourself. It's hard to, I don't know.
You sound like you're bragging or gloating, like, well, and then I did this.
Yeah, exactly.
How about you? Any big fishing plans coming up here in the? I guess most of the seasons are done, aren't they?
Well, I mean, there's some steelhead and big browns in November. It's a good time for brown trout. But ice fishing is coming, and as everyone knows that's ever listened to this podcast, I hate ice fishing. I despise it, but I do it because my kids are climbing off the walls, and they have to get outside. So we'll go ice.
Do you ever get a shanty?
Yeah, we got a shanty, a little heater in there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's
makes it livable.
Yeah, but the problem is the kids want to run around the ice, and it's hard to keep an eye on them. You don't want them getting too close to the bank where the ice is thin, all that stuff. So it's kind of more nerve-wracking just because you can't see as well.
Yeah.
But it's pretty amazing to see, like, to stand on ice. It's something we never did in Texas.
Yeah, I could understand that. Ice, but that would be unusual. Not seeing snow. You didn't see snow till you moved up here, right?
Yeah, I was like 22 when the first time I ever saw snow. I mean, I saw flurries, like there were some flurries and stuff, especially when I lived in Dallas, but nothing. It was like sleet.
No accumulating.
Not really.
Yeah.
Maybe some sleet kind of accumulating in a field somewhere, but nothing like it is here.
Yeah, I've never been ice fishing. I'm not a big winter person yet. I'm trying to love winter, but it's so hard.
Okay, you're going ice fishing with me then.
All right.
And we'll suffer through at least one time.
Okay.
And if you like it, we'll take the tip ups out and everything, drill the holes and stuff, and
do the whole experience. All right.
Yeah, I will.
Maybe we'll try to video some of that.
Well, we will. We'll try to video some. Well, Bill, thanks for hanging out with me today.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for the coffee.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys for joining us this week on the Remote No Pressure podcast. We always appreciate our listeners and all that you're doing. Thank you guys so much. And until next time, go fishing.